Hello, everyone. My name is Anna Zadon Koppert, and I am here today to talk to you about multi-generational workforces and all of our varying age groups, working that to your advantage rather than finding it to be a problem. Today's day and age in the workforce has several generational groups, starting with the baby boomers who were born between 1946 and 1964, Generation X, born 1964 to 1980, and Generation Y 1980 to 2000. When you have these many groups together, they don't bring the same talents to the table, and you need to identify their various strengths and how that you can get them to work together. The elder situation, or our baby boomers. Normally, people are retiring about this age, but because of certain situations, this number of workers is actually increasing right now. These are mostly due to financial reasons. There was the crash in 2007 and general bad economic situation from 07 to 09. The government has raised the Social Security and retirement age as the years have gone on, higher and higher. And many people just have found they haven't prepared adequately to retire at this time, and so they're staying in the workforce. This has resulted in less jobs for new workers and an older workforce staying around. Our younger workforce, which is generally the millennials, they are somewhat still in high school and still in college, but a lot of them have already graduated and moved on into the workforce. There aren't as many jobs in the past as there have been for new workers, but this new group brings with it a technical savvy that we haven't seen in the past. This is the generation that grew up with technology, and they know more almost than any other generation. If they're not doing it on a computer, I'm not sure they know how to do it. At the same time, they are much more advanced, and you'll find some of your best program writers and coders in this generation. When you look at a workforce, you're going to have all the groups in there, and what you want to do is bring them together, seeing what everyone can give to each other, and work as a team with all the various strengths and weaknesses. Are you working together? Are you working together as a team? This is just an illustration showing the older set maybe pointing the finger at the younger set and them not understanding why. I think that's very good for what's going on in today's day and age. The advice on how to handle this is to stay in constant communication. Older workers come with a business knowledge that the younger workers will never have until they have been in the business as long as they have, and that just takes time. So this is the opportunity for the baby boomers to train the younger workers in how the company works, the company culture, what the goals are, what the procedures are, what the processes are. This is a slightly delicate situation because you want to be able to pass on information without saying this is the only way to do it, because most things there's not just one way of doing them, there's often multiple. The younger workers need to pass on their information the other way. These are the social media savvy folks who are they've been doing this since they were in high school. They know how to do them better than anyone else. Some of these things are very foreign to the older generations, and it requires some of the most simplistic training that will require patience from a younger group not necessarily known for their patience. So both sides need to keep their ego in check and embrace everyone as an equal, despite the differences that are going to show. Everyone's going to come to their table with different strengths. Rather than try and act like you're better, you need to act like an equal. Management particularly needs to create these messages for the team and keep them very, very clear. When management comes from the top and says, we're all going to work together, then people will realize that they mean business. When management comes from the top and says, you all need to share and you need to take care of each other, again, this is another message that's just being, in a way, reiterated to the entire team. It's not a time to sit there and tell one group one thing and another group another thing and pat them on the back and make them all feel better. This is a time to say to them, we're coming together as a team. I want you to keep this attitude. This is going to be our new culture. They need to promote and solidify that. And it's going to come from constant communication from them to the team and then communication between the peers. Companies need to have an open forum for ideas. Now, this is something I saw at my husband's company. He works for a large corporation, and every year they have an anonymous forum for everybody to tell the company what they think could be done better, what they think could change, what they think they are doing well on, and feedback on their management. When you bring in new younger employees, a lot of times they get treated as if they don't understand anything about the business, but the fact is they can look at a problem with a fresh set of eyes and oftentimes see a change that is really a good idea. And instead of just dismissing them as too young to have any kind of good ideas, you need to keep that forum open and allow all these younger workers to communicate these new ideas. You might find that having that fresh set of eyes, despite the age, which is irrelevant, could save the company tons of money. I think these forums should be in every major company. You constantly have to keep the information moving. If you're not communicating to your company about what's going on, what could be better, what could be changed, what is not working, how would the company ever know to do this? A lot of times people aren't even willing to do that communication. This open forum creates kind of a more private and safe and secure way for employees to do that. I think it's a great way of getting it done. The leadership has to always set the example, which is something we see. It doesn't matter in business if it's corporate communications, crisis communications, peer-to-peer communications. The leadership, when they set the right example, it all falls in line for the most part. So management is responsible for keeping the communication channels open. They have to make them safe. And they need to actually listen and not just say, oh, we've placed all these things out there for you guys to communicate with us. Well, it doesn't matter if they don't actually take it into consideration. So when looking to communicate with your peers to get them to all work as a team, it's always going to be on leadership to start the process of communication. Ultimately, just as in any work family, you need to go easy on each other and remember you're a team. Here's a funny little Dilbert cartoon to wrap this up, showing that the younger generation, there's really no place for sneering at the older generation and vice versa. Everyone is going to have to be kind to each other, communicate with each other, be respectful, and ultimately, hopefully, this will lead to the trust that will keep the communication flowing from there on. Thank you very much.